What's going on, guys? Mirai here, and welcome back to part 2 of the 1.3 version update notice. So in this video, we are going to be covering not only Zhongli's buff, he is getting a huge buff, by the way, and I think it's going to be really strong. And also, we are going to see some changes to Mona. So we'll be covering all of that, and I'll give you my thoughts on all these changes. So the first one over here is going to be Zhongli, and the first change is, of course, his elemental skill hold. And originally, it causes nearby geo energy to explode, creates a shield of Jade, and this shield scales off of Zhongli's HP, and also absorbs geo damage 250% more effectively. It deals geo damage, and if there are targets with the geo element nearby, it will drain a large amount of geo element from a maximum of 2 such targets. So Zhongli players will know he is extremely good at destroying the pillars of the Geo Hypostasis. But after the change, all these will still be kept except for the Jade Shield, which will get a little bit of change. But also, if their maximum number hasn't been reached, it will create a stone stele, which is the pillar. So for those who don't have C1, if you don't have any pillars on the field, when you hold his E, he will make one more pillar. And for those who have C1, if you have 0 or 1, it will create one more pillar. And of course, there are changes to the Jade Shield as well. So originally, it has a 250% damage absorption or effectiveness against geo damage. But right now, it will change to 150% damage absorption against all element and all physical damage. So that's going to be a really good buff for him, being able to have enhanced damage reduction on not just on Geo, but on all other elements as well. And of course, all these are still the same. The second change that will happen will be to his second Ascension talent. So originally, when you level him up to 70, Planet Befall, which is his Q, will do additional damage equal to 33% of Zhongli's max HP. And that's already very nice, right? Having a HP scaling on his Q. But after the buff, not only does he get to keep it over here, as you can see, but it also gives him a lot of HP scaling. So on normal attack and charge attacks, as well as plunging attacks, you get a 1.39% HP scaling on all these attacks. And for his steles, or his pillars, the resonance and the hold damage will be increased by 1.9% of his max HP. So we're getting a HP scaling across the board for all attacks for Zhongli, and that's going to be really insane. I've covered this in the past, and basically what this means is that your normal attack basically will give you up to around, an additional 500-600 damage at the minimum, including crit damage. And, if you have physical damage bonus, that's going to be more. But I'll talk about that in a bit. So these are going to be the changes for Zhongli. And honestly, in my opinion, I think it's a little bit overkill. I might be wrong. We have to, test him out as 1.3 comes live. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. But just looking at the numbers, it's really insane, and I'm really excited to test out Zhongli. And also, I just want to maybe try a different build with him. I might go with 2-piece Petra and 2-piece Gladiator, which might or might not work. We don't know just yet. But right now, my Zhongli is using the 2-piece Petra with 2-piece Noblesse. I am looking to change the Noblesse into Gladiator, and we might also even try out the 4-piece Gladiator just for kicks and giggles. I don't know, man. We'll see. Also, the Bloodstain looks pretty nice. I don't know if it will work on a physical damage Zhongli. I'm guessing it will not work because Petra does seem to do a lot of work for him. But we will test that as well. So the second, I would say, quality of life change will be to Mona, and that is to her Illusory Torrent. So basically, for Illusory Torrent, which is her dash, the one that she goes underwater and, sprints, when Mona is hit, she can use this dash more quickly, as is the case with sprinting for other characters. Now, I don't know about you guys, but personally, I have tried, using Mona, and that has been a really big issue for me. She always gets hit because she couldn't dash properly. or rather, she couldn't dash in time to avoid the attacks, and it's not in line with the other characters. So this change will be really, really good, and I might test that out and also try to use Mona. And also with this, it also means that, Ayaka's sprint, which is very, very similar to Mona's sprint, will also get a upgrade, hopefully. And that is just going to be really, really nice for all those who are going to be pulling for Ayaka. And next, we have added a new idle animation for Kaya. Okay, nothing much. Optimizes Zhongli's animation under weapons on the character screens, and all these are all going to be quality of life changes. And number 5, it resolves issues with aiming mode for bow-wielding characters when obstacles are present nearby, such as character shaking and off-center shots. Now, I don't know what this means specifically, so I'm looking to try it out when 1.3 comes live. It also optimizes precision when firing shots at moving targets. So if you look at 0.5 and 0.6, they are really resolving all the issues with aiming mode for the archers, and just the Ganryu mains will be really, really happy to know that their aiming mode will be getting kind of a quality of life upgrade. Of course, it doesn't increase your damage or anything, but it might be easier to land your charge shots, which is going to be really nice. We will try this out in 1.3, and honestly, although I'm not a fan of the charge shots, I'm really hoping that these changes will be good, because eventually I want to try using Ganryu. And number 7 resolves the issue of shaking clothing / movements when some characters perform actions such as walking, attacking, skill casting, and sitting. So this is just a visual upgrade for me, nothing really too much. And of course, we get the monsters as well. So adjustments for the combat logic for Dendro slimes. When a Dendro slime is hiding relatively far from your location, you will not enter combat mode. So this is a big one. You know how randomly sometimes you walk into a place and then the battle music just starts and you know that there's a Dendro slime and you can't change your party, right? You can't optimize your party or change your party when you are technically in combat, but the Dendro slime doesn't move. It just hides there and just annoys the hell out of you until you find it and get rid of it. So this is really, really nice quality of life change for me. I've always had a problem with these Dendro slimes. So I'm really, really happy for this. And the next change will be for the Spiral Abyss. So Spiral Abyss is getting a update, and it updates the monster lineup on floor 12. So the leyline disorders on floor 12 are adjusted to, for floor 12 only, the leyline flow will be normal, starting from the first time that the lunar phase refreshes after updating to version 1.3, which I think it comes in a few days. The 3 lunar phases will be as follows. When active character HP is less than 70%, attack is increased by 20% and attack speed is increased by 15%. When active character HP is less than 35% and they are under the protection of a shield, crit rate is increased by 20% and crit damage is increased by 40%. So I think the second change is more in line with the new characters that are coming out, specifically Xiao. So I'm definitely looking to try Xiao in floor 12. I don't have a proper team to deal with 12 tree for now, so we'll see what Xiao brings to the table in terms of the Spiral Abyss. Now for Phase 2, a charge will accumulate every 10 seconds with a maximum of 3 existing at any one time. If the active character's HP is less than 50%, they will consume a charge when they hit an opponent to create an unstable energy orb at the opponent's position. This orb will explode after 1 second and only one of them can be created every 2 seconds. And in Phase 3, when the active character's HP is less than 50%, they gain a 2% damage bonus for 10 seconds after hitting an opponent. This effect can stack up to 10 times, and each character in the party will have their own independent stacks and durations. Each time the stack count or duration of this effect resets, there is a 50% chance to release an energy blast. An energy blast can be triggered once every 10 seconds. Now, I don't know if it will apply when your character gets reset when it's not your active. I am assume it won't, but that's going to be a really nice change. And I see the whole floor 12 changes as a buff, or rather a change that is specifically catered to characters that are under a specific amount of HP, and in this case 50%. So that's going to be really nice for characters that are, have the tools and the kit to kind of lower their own HP, and we'll kind of see more of that, especially in Xiao and also in Hu Tao, which will be released in the future. Also, there's going to be some quality of life changes, which you can read for yourself. But it's going to be, a lot of chat changes and all the display UI changes, and, you guys can check it out for yourself. But over here, you can see that, from version 1.3 onward, extra fragile resin rewards will be included in the Battle Pass system. Starting from BP level 5, the Sojourner's Battle Pass and Gnostic Hymn provide fragile resin every 10 BP levels. So you will get at level 5, 15, 25, 35, and 45. So the original rewards of Mystic Enhancement Ores provided at these BPs will be added to rewards at other levels instead, and the total quantity of Mystic Enhancement Ores that can be obtained from the BP system will not change. So they're not replacing it, they're just moving it to other levels, and basically it's a buff. We are getting a free fragile resin for Battle Pass, 5 for free-to-play players, and for those who have the Gnostic Hymn, it will be 10 for the entire Battle Pass. So that's going to be really, really nice for all of us to get more extra resin. So yeah, the other changes are pretty much quality of life, voiceover, and also, some other optimization. But the next thing is the Geo-Elemental Resonance. So if you guys don't know, the Geo Resonance currently gives you increases resistance to interruption. When protected by a shield, it increases attack damage by 15%. But after the buff, it increases shield strength by 15%, and additionally, characters that are protected by a shield will have the following special characteristics. Damage will be increased by 15%. Dealing damage to enemies will decrease their Geo Resonance by 20% for 15 seconds. So I have said that, Albedo is a really, really good character when paired with Zhongli, and that has not changed. So after 1.3, I will definitely be including Zhongli in my main team, and I will try that out with Albedo, and we'll probably try Xiao and Jean as the other two characters. So that's going to be my test lineup for 1.3. We'll see how that goes. But honestly, looking at this, the Geo element is going to be really, really good. Next, we have the Geoshield balance adjustments. So Geoshields are adjusted from having a 250% Geo damage absorption to having 150% physical and elemental damage absorption. So that's going to be really nice for all the Geoshields. And, the adjustment affects the following. So it affects the Zhongli's elemental skill, and also Noel's elemental skill, and also the Geoshield produced upon picking up a Geo Crystal dropped by Geovishap Hatchling. So Noel is going to be really, really tanky after this, and Zhongli, as we've covered, is going to be really strong as well. So these shields are going to kind of get a buff, because instead of just, being more effective against Geo damage, which we know is, not the most common element when you are out in the field, this is going to give us 150% scaling on physical damage and all elemental damage. So basically, you're just getting a hard buff on your shields against all damage. That's going to be insane. Well, with the exception of Geo damage, of course. So all these buffs to Geo will be really, really nice. And personally, I really love Geo characters. I love Zhongli, Albedo, Ningguang, Noel, and, I just love all these changes that are going to be coming. And, with Geo being an element that is not really common in, the field, I just feel like all these shield adjustments are going to be really, really nice for Geo. Of course, I am working on Noelle right now. She is currently Constellation 6, but she is not leveled up. I'm still working on her Ascension materials, so we'll definitely test her out on stream one of these days. So do subscribe and check out my stream if you are interested, in Noelle. So that's gonna be it for the entire update notice. If you haven't watched the first part of it, do check it out here. I will link it somewhere up there. But I have covered everything here, or at least the major points, and I hope that this video has helped you, kind of break down all the changes that are happening in 1.3. So yeah, if this video has helped you, do make sure you are subscribed and also smash like on this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.